A nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of Your Black World News. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III. Along with losing $66 million, ex-NBA player Darius Miles has lost everything in a bankruptcy sale, including a signed LeBron James jersey, guns, and a VCR player. It was reported last September that former NBA player Darius Miles, who last played in the league with the Memphis Grizzlies during the 2008-2009 season, made upwards of $66 million during his career, but lost absolutely everything and filed for bankruptcy. Months after, his bad investments left him asking the court to allow him to sell off his assets in order to pay his creditors. Now, Miles listed $460,385 in assets and $1.57 million in liabilities. Part of Miles' liabilities were $282,041 debt to the IRS. He also said that most of his debts are not consumer debts, but business debts. Miles owns a single-family home in Belleville, Illinois, with a value of $241,000. He also owns a 2011 Camaro valued at $20,000. In addition to his Belleville home, he listed 12 other properties that he owns, all in East St. Louis. He has a Dutch bank account with $49,000 in it, and his son's college fund has a little bit over $84,000. He also listed ownership of various collectibles with unknown value, including trophies and signed jerseys and jewelry. Miles listed a $20,000 child support debt in his bankruptcy. He lost more than $100,000 in 2008 in a California real estate deal. So he was ordered to sell off his stuff to pay his creditors back. The sale went down recently in Illinois, and a quick breakdown of everything that he sold and what he got for it was a signed LeBron James jersey. Someone purchased it for $1,500. A signed Larry Bird jersey went for $100. An AR-15 firearm was sold for $500. A Beretta gun was sold for $400. Self-contained karaoke machine, $75. A signed Dirk Nowitzki shoe was $375. A signed Lamar Odom shoe, $225. And 5 VHS players for a total of $21.50. In total, he received $12,780 from the sale, which is a long, long way from the $1 million, well, the over $1.57 million that he owes in liability. But on a personal note, it's hard to feel sorry for someone who has access to that much capital and just blow it all. But I would love to hear what you think about this, so please leave a comment in the section below. And until next time, my friends, be blessed and be encouraged.
All right, had to do another one. I'm on the road, in the mood, waiting on my son to get back from Alabama. So I wanted to do this video. I saw it. The brother, I know what it's like to make a lot of money and lose it. And I know what it's like to be the butt of everyone's jokes and laughed at because, you didn't manage your money right. I'm gonna just tell the truth. I'm a black man that will admit his flaws. And one thing that happens, like there was a time in the Bible with David. This was when he was going through the mess with his son Absalom, right? So David, this guy came from the top of the hill and was screaming down at David, insulting him. and calling them names and cursing him and talking about his family and all the mess. Because, you know, his dirt was out. Everybody knew he had slept with Bathsheba. I mean, and he, you know, he had all the issues going with his son Absalom, which is one of his sons he had by Bathsheba, after he had Uriah the Hittite, which was her husband's kid, right? And yeah, I'm sorry to give y'all 4 points in the conclusion, but hey, this is privy to the story. So David's attitude was that of humility. What he didn't do was curse the dude out and have him killed, because he was still king. And if anybody know, you read about David. David was a warrior, a fighter. He you know, fierce warrior. Like, he wasn't nothing to play with. He'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? So, but David didn't touch it. He didn't say nothing to him. He's like, man, maybe I deserve this because all the actions I did. And I'm making that point. Now later on, you know, he redeemed himself and had that dude and his whole family killed. They didn't play in the Old Testament. But the point I'm trying to make is this: when people fail, don't wish them, you know, don't say stuff like this dumbass dude. You know, what's wrong with these dumbass niggas, bad investment, losing their money. Even the guy in the thing said, you know, can't say I feel sorry for him. I ain't gonna lie. If I'd have met Darius Miles 15, 16 years ago, he probably wouldn't have gave me 2 cents. I know an NBA player I tried to get to do some investments with. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But to that brother's credit, he was real good with his money. So he still got a few dollars. Thank God he saved his money. But and there's a key point. This guy right here under the comments, this is a Boyce Watkins video, if you aren't familiar with it. This guy here made some key points. He was like, look, you know, he should have spent some of that money understanding financial literacy, which is true. You know, but the thing is this, you know, what are you doing with your money? What are you doing with your time and investments? I put out 2 videos earlier today. One video was that of a guy who started in a Jan Pro franchise. And that guy made some noise, man. He did some great things with the business. I got another interview I'm gonna do with a homeboy of mine. He's actually the godfather of my son, and he does what they call expedited freight, and I'm gonna probably get him to do an interview later. But the point I'm making is this: when somebody messes up, man, and loses money, I don't celebrate. When a black man loses $66 million, he made some dumb choices. But one thing that kind of made me relate to the brother was he said he did some business investment. And that means he went out. He wasn't just thinking short term, I'm going to fall till I fall. He wasn't thinking like that. He really did make some investments. But his level of ignorance came back and bit him in the end, because he didn't spend all his time focusing on learning like this brother here, Jedi King Push, just put out. You know, he's right. You know, but you read some comments, you know, people, when they find out, if I was to open up everybody's personal financial information and or go through their browser history on their Google Chrome or in their cell phones, I'm sure they would be embarrassed of some of the choices that they've made. You know, pornographic websites, or you know, done some dumb things with their money, as far as going out and being wasteful, and you know, just being wasteful in general. So let's you know, whenever you see a person that's down or that has had some sort of financial hardship, I don't wish that person any harm. I don't. And I'm not happy. I don't celebrate when a brother spends $65 million and then he files bankruptcy, especially when it's a black man that tried to do business. You know, dumb nigga, idiot. Don't do that. Don't insult the brother, because that's a black man that tried to do business. He even said, the guy next thing said, he insists most of his investments were from business, which, you know, I made $600,000 in a year before. I know what it's like to spend the bulk of that money in business and then have it go belly up. Or, you know, that 2008, 2007 housing bubble got a lot of people. And if you're familiar with it, that's when he's saying he lost a lot of money. You know, so let's not celebrate or get in the habit of celebrating someone else's downfall. I hate to see people do that. You know, I never forget this, man. When I lost that comedy club, I had a partner, ex-dope boy, supposedly ex. Come to find out he still was. But at the time I didn't know, you know, and me and him kept bumping heads. The comedy club wasn't making any money. I had ran out of all my real estate investment money. That was the last bit of that $600,000 that I made. I took it and dropped it into that comedy club situation. It didn't work out. And when that comedy club, when I closed that comedy club, I'm gonna just tell y'all something real, man. I was crying at night. I would be in the bed, man, just sitting there. You know, me and my girl, one night she woke up, I was just sitting there at 3:54 in the morning, just crying, hurt, heartbroken, because I gave it all I had. When I tell you I laid my blood, sweat, and tears in that business, and I bust my ass, man. I bust my ass. I did. So, every time you look at situations like that, people, and it was one thing that I know about when I lost the club, people that are so-called friends of mine were in glee. You hear me? People that I no longer really fool with, but at the time they were supposed to be my friends. But I see one homeboy, he telling me some stuff the other guy said. Yeah, man, he said this, he said that. And I'm sitting there in the back of my mind like, what did you say? Then the next time, something else happened. And the guy say, well, I mean, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. The other guy telling, so they was telling on each other. And I had females calling me and telling me that guys that I called friends was real secretly jealous and talking greasy about me. So when I see a black man that's in business and he fails, I don't get happy. I don't celebrate. I don't, be all jolly and happy. It seems like a lot of black people, we get off on, I wouldn't have blew $65 million. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done that. Well, that remains to be seen. Did you blow 65? Did you blow $60? You see what I'm saying? Did you blow $100? You get what I'm saying? So, like right now, I just, some told me today to go check in my blockchain. I used to do some Bitcoin mining, right? So I spent like a couple $100, $200 and just mined Bitcoins for a while through a company called Genesis Mining, right? I said, let me go check. I'd be damned if I ain't got $500 worth of damn digital currency in my account that I didn't even know about. Now, I'm going to probably let it stay and probably go use that to go buy some more mining power. But that's $500 that I didn't even know I had. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make is, let's not, I sit with us, especially as black people, we can be cruel when a person fails. The Bible says that, how do you should count the cost. And, Jesus gave an analogy, if you will. I don't think it's a parable. He said, would you start to build a building or foundation and run out of materials and then become mocked and ridiculed because you didn't have the materials to finish the job? You see what I'm saying? It's a tendency from people to mock you and ridicule you and talk about you when you fail in business. And it's sad. It's sad, especially black people. We have a high propensity to belittle and laugh at a brother when he gets out here and tries something and fail. Now this brother, he was dumb with his money. He made some dumb choices with his money. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure now he's a lot wiser than he was back then. You see what I'm saying? So, if you listening to this and you got a child or son and they're in sports, make sure that they go just as hard in education and business as they do in sports. Sports is a hobby. I like sports. It teaches you a lot about yourself and what you made of on the inside. It does. When you get out there and you're going against somebody and they got more talent than you, they're actually better than you. What are you going to do about it? So that's why I like sports. So I never dog him for playing sports. But let's not dog this brother for failing either.
My sweetest friend, everyone I know goes away.